CLIs have exploded in popularity once again, in large part due to agents. It's helpful to give an agent a CLI so it can run commands on your behalf in a really context-efficient way. Well, we just released version 2 of our CLI, and I want to just talk about one little part that actually is for the humans. It's the webhook listener. This allows you to spin up a local webhook, test it, make sure you're getting the events that you expect. Let's look at it now. All right, so to get started with, we need a public URL. So I'm going to start ngrok here at port 3000. Now right here, I need to copy this because this is what will pass along to the CLI. All right, in a separate terminal window, let's go ahead and start with Resend Webhooks listen. And since I started with port 3000, I'll need to pass that along here. Otherwise, it uses a default port number. So I'll use port 3000 since that's what I happen to use with ngrok. I'll just paste that in, and now it will set up the webhook listener. Now, the really nice thing here is it sets this up for you. You can test everything you need to, and then it destroys it when you're done. So it's just for testing purposes. You don't have to do any of that work yourself. So you can see here it says it's listening to all events. I'll show you how to limit that in a moment if you want. And then it tells you the server we're listening on, which is this one right here. And this is the public endpoint that I've exposed. If I were to actually look at my Resend account, you'll see that it's created this webhook for me automatically. Nothing's happened yet, but if I go in here and let's just do an event like deleting a contact. So I'll go into my audience, I'll delete one of my many fake contacts here, and just like this. And when I do, you'll notice that the webhook listener actually shows that lives, contact.deleted, and it shows the contact that was deleted, the ID for it, and the actual address. So I can use this to test to make sure all those events are coming in. Now, we've already seen this singular event come through, but I can actually limit this as well. First of all, notice how when I clean this up, if I go back over and I look at the actual webhook event and I refresh this page, you'll see the webhook is gone. So this is just for testing purposes, and we take care of creating and deleting that webhook for you. So you can test you're getting the events, but you don't have to worry about cleaning up afterwards. All right, so now let's just limit it to a certain type of event. So if I come back over to the Resend CLI, we can do the same thing. We'll do Resend Webhooks listen port. Then I can actually listen for specific events. So let's do events, and we'll do something like email.sent and then email.open. Listening on port 3000, all the rest of that should be the exact same. So now all I need to do is actually send an email. Well, I can also use the Resend CLI for that. So let's start a new terminal over here, and we'll do resend emails send. All right, and now it can walk me through this. It even gives me some options here. So we'll use like hello contact, and here I'll do chris@resend.com. I'll send it to myself. We'll say hi from the world. All right, and then it'll send that email and send it off. Now, if I jump back over here, you'll notice that it says email has been sent, and we actually see that live in the webhook listener. So you get the chance to actually test this dev setup yourself. So if we look at my email inbox here, I can open up the email, which should fire off that separate event. Now, there's a lot of other things you can pass along with these flags as well. So here you'll see the docs tell you that you can pass along the events. We've done that already, the endpoint as well, but there's all these other flags you can pass. So notice we've used the port. The only one we haven't used yet is forward to. This would be for like if you want to now spin up your local server in like your application and forward those events that you're getting in this temporary webhook along to your application to make sure that those are working properly. Now, this is just a few of the things you can do with the Resend CLI. It has full coverage of our API. And like you can see in the docs here, everything from authentication to domains to API keys, broadcast, content properties, contact properties, all the rest of this is baked in by default. Now, of course, we want the CLI to be more than just a CLI wrapper. That's why, in part, we have things like sending HTML and React emails directly from your own file system, and the webhooks listener that allows it to be something that's actively helping you, a tool, not merely an API wrapper. Let us know what else we can add to make it that kind of a tool in your workflow. If you don't know already, we have a JSON flag that's automatically engaged in CI environments, and when your agent interacts, to pass back JSON instead of this interactive mode that we've seen today. So we tried to build it out intelligently for all different types of users and workflows. Well, let us know what else we can do to make your life easier with the CLI, and until next time, happy emailing.